Work, force, and energy. Force, work, and energy are important in our daily lives. Every time we push, pull, or lift something and it moves from its place, we use force and energy, and work is said to be done. It shows that work, force, and energy are related to each other. In this chapter, we will learn how force causes objects to move, how work is done, and how energy helps in everything we do. Let us explore how force, work, and energy play a role in our everyday lives. Force. Force is a push or a pull that can make an object move, stop, or change its direction. When we push an object, it moves away from us. When we pull an object, it moves closer to us. For example, when we push a box, it moves away from us. Similarly, if we pull a cart, it comes toward us. Force can also change the shape of an object. For example, pressing a ball of clay can make it flat or round. When a force, push, is applied in the same direction as a bicycle is moving, the bicycle goes faster. But if a force, pull, is applied in the opposite direction, the bicycle slows down or even stops. If an object does not move even after applying force, it means the force is not strong enough. For example, pushing a heavy almirah does not make it move because the force applied is not enough to change its position. Effects of force. Force can move a stationary object. Force can stop or slow down a moving object. Force can change the shape and size of an object. Force can change the speed or direction of a moving object. Types of forces. Frictional force. Friction or frictional force is the force that opposes motion when two objects come in contact with each other. Friction always acts in the opposite direction of motion. Smooth surfaces like marble or ice blocks have less friction, so objects slide easily. Rough surfaces like carpets or grass have more friction, making movements harder. A force is needed to start moving an object, but friction slows it down and makes it stop. Friction is important in our daily lives. We need this force of friction in our actions too, like walking, running, playing, or doing any other task. If there was no friction, we would not be able to walk, play, run, or doing any such activities. It helps us walk without slipping, allows vehicles to move, and helps us hold things. Writing with a pencil is possible because friction allows the pencil lead to rub off and leave a mark on the paper. Do you know? Muscular force and frictional force are contact forces, while gravitational force is a non-contact force. Lab Corner. Aim: to observe how friction affects the movement of a ball on icy surface and carpet. Materials required: ice blocks, ball, and carpet. Procedure. Step 1. Roll the ball on icy surface and observe its movement. Step 2. Roll the ball on carpet and observe its movement. Step 3. Repeat the process to compare which surface allows the ball to move faster. Observation. The ball moves faster on icy surface because ice has less friction than carpet. Conclusion. Smooth surfaces have less friction, so objects move faster. Rough surfaces have more friction, which slows objects down. Gravitational force. When we throw an object upward, it always falls back to the Earth's surface because the Earth attracts it with a force. This force of attraction between the Earth and any object on the Earth's surface is called the gravity, and attraction between any two bodies in the universe is called gravitational force. Gravity helps us walk, run, and play. It prevents us from floating away and holds everything on the Earth's surface. For example, leaves fall from trees because gravity pulls them down, and a waterfall flows down a cliff because gravity pulls the water downward. There are different types of forces: frictional force, gravitational force, and muscular force. Let us learn about the types of forces in detail. Muscular force. The force exerted by the muscles of our body is called muscular force. Humans and animals use muscular force to move things. For example, we use muscular force when we lift a school bag, kick a football, push door, or ride a bicycle. It helps us walk, run, jump, and carry objects. Horses and bulls use their muscles to pull carts. Work. Work is said to be done when an object moves in the direction of the applied force. For example, if a boy pushes a box and it moves, work is done. When we apply force to an object, it does not always move. This means that no work is done. For example, if someone pushes a wall and it does not move, no work is done. Work can be done by hands or machines. Let us learn about how work is done by simple machines in more detail. Simple machines. Have you ever tried to open a bottle, cut a piece of paper properly, or push a heavy box? Some tasks are very difficult to do with just our hands. To do these hard tasks, we use some machines. A machine is something that makes work easier and faster. Some machines like buses, washing machines, and cars are big and complex, but some machines like calculators, scissors, pliers, hammers, screwdrivers are small and simple. These are called simple machines. These are the tools that help us do work with less effort. For example, a scissor helps us cut paper properly, a screw holds things together, and a ramp helps us move things easily. Types of simple machines. There are 6 types of simple machines that help us do work with less effort. They are lever, pulley, wheel and axle, inclined plane, screw and wedge. Lever. A lever is a simple machine. It is a bar that turns around a fixed point and is used for cutting, lifting, pushing or pulling objects. Examples include scissors, pliers, seesaws, bottle openers and nutcrackers. Pulley. A pulley is a simple machine that consists of a wheel with a rope or belt wrapped around it. It makes lifting heavy objects easier because pulling the rope turns the wheel, which in turn lifts the objects. For example, pulley in a well help lift water used to hoist flag. Used in window blinds, and cranes use pulleys to move heavy things. Do you know? A single fixed pulley does not reduce the force, it only changes the direction of applied force. Wheel and axle. The wheel and axle is a simple machine in which a wheel is attached to a rod called an axle. When the axle moves, the wheel also moves, helping us move heavy objects with less effort. For example, bicycle wheels, car wheels, and door knobs. Inclined plane. An inclined plane is a sloped surface used to move objects from one level to another. Instead of lifting the objects straight up, you can push or pull them along the ramp, which makes the work easier. For example, slides, slanted roads, ramps and planks. Screw. A screw is actually an inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder. It is used to hold things together. Screws provide a stronger grip than nails, can be taken out and reused easily. For example, nuts and bolts, cork openers and screws that hold parts of furniture together. Wedge. A wedge is a simple machine with a sharp edge at one end that is used to cut or split things apart and a blunt end at the other end. For example, knives, blades of axes and forks. By using simple machines, we can make work easier and reduce the amount of force required to do that work. Energy. Energy is the capacity to do work. All living things need energy to survive. Different organisms use energy in different ways. We need energy for breathing, walking, playing, and all the activities we do every day. We get energy from the food we eat. Sources of energy. The energy which is trapped from any system is called a source of energy. Some of the main sources from where we get energy are renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. Renewable and non-renewable sources. Some sources of energy can be replenished again by nature and do not get exhausted. These are called renewable sources of energy. For example, water, sunlight and wind. Some sources of energy cannot be replaced once they are used up. These are called non-renewable sources of energy. They are coal, oil and natural gas. Forms of energy. There are various forms of energy such as solar energy, wind energy, electrical energy and heat energy. All these forms of energy are interrelated because energy can transfer from one form to another. Solar energy. The sun is the biggest source of energy on the earth. It provides light and heat. The energy obtained from the sun is called solar energy. It can be converted directly or indirectly into other forms of energy such as heat and electricity. Green plants use the sun's energy to prepare their food through a process called photosynthesis. Solar energy is used in solar water heaters, solar cookers, solar panels, and solar street lights. Solar panels also produce electricity. Sunlight is abundant in nature and does not get exhausted. So, today many offices, homes, parks, and schools use solar panels to reduce electricity bills. Solar energy is clean, renewable, and helps in reducing our dependency on fossil fuels.
Do you know? Edmond Becquerel discovered the principle of solar energy in 1839.
Wind energy. Wind energy is also a clean source of energy. The power of moving air is used by the blades of a windmill, a device used to generate electricity to produce electricity. Water energy. Water energy or hydropower uses the force of fast-moving water to generate electricity. Large dams are built so that water can fall from a height with huge forces and rotate the turbines and produce electricity. This form of energy is also called hydroelectric energy. Heat energy. Heat energy is a form of energy that makes objects warm. It is used for cooking food, boiling water, and keeping our homes warm during winter. Apart from solar energy, other sources of heat energy include electricity and burning of fossil fuels like coal, wood, and gas. For example, an iron or a heater changes electrical energy into heat energy. Electrical energy. Electrical energy is produced by changing other forms of energy. Electrical energy helps us power electrical devices around us. It is used to operate lights, fans, refrigerators, televisions, geysers, and computers. Electricity is produced from different sources such as the sun, wind, water, batteries, generators, and fuels. It is an important form of energy that makes our daily life easier and more comfortable. When we use energy, its source gets used up after some time. For example, when we cook food on a gas stove, the gas in the cylinder slowly reduces, and after some time, the cylinder becomes empty and needs to be replaced. Therefore, we must use energy wisely and avoid wasting it. Key words: simple machines, tools that make work easier by changing amount or direction of force. Lever, a bar that pivots on a fixed point to lift or move loads. Wheel and axle, a wheel turning around a rod to reduce effort. Screw, a twisted inclined plane used to hold or lift objects. Wedge, a sloping surface used to cut or split objects. Energy, the ability to do work. Solar energy, energy obtained from the sun's rays. Wind energy, energy produced from moving air. Water energy, energy generated from flowing or falling water. Heat energy, energy related to warmth or temperature difference. Electrical energy, energy produced by changing other forms of energy. Let's recall force, work, and energy. Force, work, simple machines. Energy, types of forces: frictional, gravitational, muscular. By hands, by machines. Types of simple machines: lever, pulley, wheel and axle, inclined plane, screw, wedge. Forms of energy: solar, wind, water, heat, electrical.